right?
Yeah.
INR. So let's say the company is in US or the transactions have been recorded in USD and you're reporting them in INR. That's when you put it as from as USD and INR as two.
I mean, when
Does it make sense?
you are saying when the customer is operating in US, so which
Uh-huh.
conversion will we use is the question.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the customer is in US, so which means this is USD to INR. So we will say that from USD to INR, this is 0.2 something. It will come around there.
Okay. So, so this is, let's say it's not just for reporting, right? It's just also for finding out the gain and loss,
Yes.
unrealized gain and loss.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the company that's, let's assume, so we are assuming that the customer is somebody who's in US, but the actual company that actually records these and the financial statements that are generated are in INR.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
That is a foreign currency for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So before that, we will close this part. Cross validation rule and the security rule.
Okay.
So the navigation is from here. So we have the different financial reporting
Mm-hmm.
structure. So from here we
Mm-hmm.
have different chart of accounts. So here if
Mm-hmm.
we come down, we will have this one cross validation rule, manage cross validation rule.
Okay.
So there are two ways to do the cross validation rule. So this is for the manual validation for maybe two or three cases to do it
Mm-hmm.
manually. Maybe if we have a big list, so we can
Mm-hmm.
utilize the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
So using the create CVR using spreadsheet, we can upload it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this would be the spreadsheet. So from here, basically we will select our chart of accounts. So our chart of accounts is SW. So here we cannot type it, so we will have to pick it manually.
Okay. So you got the spreadsheet from where exactly? From the Oracle repository
No, this is
or
from the
directly?
application.
Oh, from the application itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Maybe after this we will see the navigation.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are just giving the name and the description of the CVR. And
Mm-hmm.
if we wanted to display any specific error message, so that we can specify here.
Mm-hmm.
And we have two things. So one is the condition filter, and the other one is
Mm-hmm.
validation filter. So when will we use the condition and the validation filter is that? When we have parent and child combination, or based on the specific value, I wanted to validate this. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if the company is, if the segment one is operations, so which
Mm-hmm.
means department. So under this operations, I don't want to utilize or make use of this particular account called rent expense. So
Mm-hmm.
if I want to restrict this way, what I'll say is here I will select this as an department. So that is operations. So I will select department and I will
Mm-hmm.
say operations. And here I will say accounts as a segment. And here I will say rent account. So which means I'm trying to restrict this particular combination called operations and rent expenses.
Okay.
So when I try to make transaction upon this, so system will give this error message
Mm-hmm.
that the this particular combination cannot be used for operation department.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And when you give the name is what? The cross validation rule name that you create.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So once this is done, so we will click submit. So this will create the cross validation rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
now
this cross validation is something that can be done at any time, any point of time, right? It doesn't have to be specifically during the implementation itself.
no, maybe later we have also we can create it. And we have the security rule also. Like this will apply for the entire startup account. If you see, we don't have
Yes.
user specific other thing. Let's say I have
Mm-hmm.
five different ledgers. So under each ledger, I have assigned maybe five operating unit. So which means
Mm-hmm.
we have 50 operating unit or the business unit. So if
Mm-hmm.
I apply this restriction, so which means this will apply for all the companies, all the business unit.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't want to have this level of restriction, I wanted to have user specific or the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility specific. Let's say I have created this thing a user called ABC. So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
restrict only at this level. I can restrict it.
Okay.
Maybe I wanted to restrict at a particular role. I
Mm-hmm.
can restrict it. So there is a minor difference between EBS and this thing. So EBS we have responsibility. So based on the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, we will restrict it. Here we don't
Yeah.
have the responsibility concept, so we will restrict based on the role or based
Mm-hmm.
on the user.
Okay.
And the other thing is cross validation rule, which will apply for the particular COA.
Okay. So when you say you are going to restrict through the, I mean, let's say assume a user, okay?
Okay.
So we just want the user to have a specific only to a certain business unit or whatever operating unit or whatever you call. So if that's the case, you are doing it in the secure through the security console and going there and editing and checking the ones that you want to give access to. Is that how you're doing?
Yeah.
How do you do? How do you restrict? Is the
Yeah.
same way?
Yeah. We
Okay.
have data access. So that is one way of restricting. And the other
Uh-huh.
way of restricting is that at the value set. So we have something called security enable there in the value set creation. So we will see that part as well. So there we have the restriction for the users or the roles. So based on that we
Okay, so
can
you're going to
restrict.
show me, right?
Yes, yes,
Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking you're just
yeah,
telling.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. So that is how we will basically restrict. So when
Okay.
we say the security rule, we have two levels. So one is at the data access and the other is at the value set. So we can do
Okay.
at two levels. So here in cross
Okay.
validation rule, this is the only way that I will be doing. So one option is to load using the spreadsheet, and the other way is to do it in the application.
Oh, okay. So we can directly do it through the application also.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So this, if you see, so this is a simple spreadsheet. So we can just
Mm-hmm.
enter and we can click submit, and the data will be uploaded in the system. So we can check
Yeah.
the validation if this is submitted.
Mm-hmm.
So now maybe we can see it in the application.
Yes.
So this is manual way. I'll just show the navigation, like from where we can get the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here if you see, create cross-validation rule in spreadsheet. If I click this,
Yes.
so this will
Okay.
download a file. So from here, I can take and I can upload this.
So it's under period close components. Okay. So that HW sample was created by somebody?
I just created this morning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was like, okay.
yeah. Since our this thing is HW, so I just
Mm-hmm.
created. Yeah. So if you see here, so this is an optional condition for us. So it's not mandatory that I should have the two segments, that is department and the accounts. So I can
Mm-hmm.
have only the account also. So in this case,
Okay.
so I had the filter for the company as well. So I have
Mm-hmm.
removed it, and
Okay.
now I have enabled only the filter called. You can just click this filter and we will see this. So it is 5450.
Okay. So which means what? So anything with that account number
Will be restricted.
will be restricted. Okay.
Yeah, because here we are saying this is equal to.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are saying we have other options as well, maybe if we are saying doesn't equal to, so
Mm-hmm.
which means apart from this, the others will be restricted.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is one thing. I'll just show the security rule also.
Mm-hmm.
So the we have data access set and we have the value set. So first I'll
Mm-hmm.
show the value set. Yeah. So here if you see, so we have this security enabled. So if we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have the restriction, so what we will do is that we will say security enabled and we will give the name for the security.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I would say HW and I'll save this.
Okay.
So after saving, we will have this edit data security.
Okay.
So from here, so basically I have the options to add it. So I'll just add a simple this thing. So here I can just give the name and the
Okay.
display name, and I have the SQL predicate. So I can use the query to determine
Mm-hmm.
this, or I can just say the condition for this. Yeah, so here I can just give the account number,
Mm-hmm.
and I can save this. So once this is done, so I will add in the policy. So here similarly, I'll just give the name, and after that I can give the role of the particular user.
Okay. Can you go back once to that
Yes,
condition, please? So that HW data security is anything. You can give any name there.
yes, any name. That is just a naming
Okay.
convention.
Okay, you gave there and then create database resource condition. So what is the name that goes there?
So
What
here,
is the name?
yeah. So here, so this, if you see the HW, this thing. So this is
Uh-huh.
for the entire value set. So again, under this,
Okay.
I might create multiple conditions as well. So let's say I have
Okay.
created for one role called maybe HW general accountant. So again, I might create another data access for the HW maybe financial analyst or
So
the
you're
accounts payable.
basically giving the name. The name is the role there. That's what you're giving.
Yeah, yes. So I
Okay,
can,
that's what I wanted to know what it was.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I can create a multiple this thing here. So that is why we have name at different level. So we have one
Okay.
at the,
So
yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah,
So this name, let's say HW is there, and then here the name can be HW Financial Analyst, and display name can be anything, let's say
yes,
HW FA or something.
yeah.
And then you give the description, and then condition type filter, match all. So what does that mean? And when you come here to the conditions, right?
Hmm.
What exactly are the conditions for you to, I mean, what are we trying to do with that role here?
So condition type, if you see, so we have two things. So one is use the filter. So filter is nothing but we can just say whether the match should be of all the criteria that we are giving it here, or any of the criteria we are giving it here. Criteria is
Okay.
nothing but a condition. So I'll just say
Okay.
all. So we can do
Okay.
that. And the
Okay.
other option is that to use the SQL. So we can
Okay.
use the SQL as a condition for this.
Okay.
So once this
And
condition is satisfied, then the system will take to the policy. So in that
so
policy system, yeah, yes.
can you give me an example for that condition? Like if
Condition.
let's say if it's let's say I'm creating a role financial analyst.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know what conditions are we supposed to give. What give me an example there. I mean, if you can think of something or any
Yeah,
other role you want to pick.
yeah, sure. So let's say I have a condition that if the particular user is working under this OU2, so I don't want to give to the user who is working under OU3. So I say OU2. So
Okay,
I'll write an SQL condition in a way that user should be working select so and so table, and from this thing where the user is working under this particular OU. So I'll say this as a condition. So once this
okay.
condition is done, so I'll say all. So which means,
Hmm.
I mean, for SQL we will not have all. So it will be only the SQL condition. So I'll say this condition. So after this, under policy, I will add the user. I mean, not user role.
Under policy, you'll add the role. Okay. So let's say if you just type in the SQL there in that box. Is that how it works?
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
I can just select.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can just type the condition. I mean, we can give the condition and we can save it. So based on that, system will validate.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the options for the conditions.
And the policy?
Yeah. Policy is for the selection of role.
So condition is not specific to a role then.
No. If that condition is satisfied, after the system will validate the policy.
Uh,
So if that condition is not satisfied, system will not even move to the policy thing.
so in that case, then condition name should be different, right? It should not be specific to a role or anything.
That's what that depends on the naming convention. But usually it
Okay.
will be role specific so that we can identify actually.
Oh, is that how they give it? Okay.
Yeah, just for an identification.
Okay.
Yeah. So here again, if you come, you will have the general information like the policy name,
Mm-hmm.
and we will have the start date, and we will have the module. And under role, we will have the role related details. Like if I'm going to attach the general accountant or financial analyst, and the role is like condition, we will just attach it here.
No, I think this I need to play with a little.
Yeah. So condition, what we created in the earlier setup, we will just attach it here.
Okay. Multiple values, row set. What is that row set thing? Multiple values
Whether
and
we want to have
symbols.
the multiple values or the single values.
Okay.
In the condition, we have given the values, right? So those.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
This is not totally clear, but I get the concept behind it. But I think I need to work this
Yeah, yeah.
to actually do it and then see because it's kind of vague at this point.
Okay.
Okay, maybe with some example or something, if you create one and show me, then maybe it'll make more sense to me. But I know I got the point of what you were trying to say. It's just me trying to do it and see how it actually works.
Okay. Yeah, fine. So that's it about the security role.
Hmm.
So the other one would be the data access. So that is we know usually. So I'll just show it here.
Hmm.
So this is like creating a new data access set. So we
Hmm.
can just give the name for it, and here we can give the restrictions. So whether we wanted to have the access for the full ledger, or we
Hmm.
wanted to have only for the primary balancing segment.
Okay.
And we will select the chart of accounts and the
Hmm.
accounting calendar and the default ledger.
Okay. What's there in the drop down for default ledger?
So this will be our ledger, like HW ledger.
Okay.
Let me create. So here I could restrict by this one. Either I could say read and write or read only. So which means user cannot do any addition or updation or anything. He can only view it.
Okay. In terms of, is it transactions or
Yeah,
setups?
yeah. Transaction, not
In
on
terms,
setup.
okay,
Transaction.
transaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we are defined with this, so what we will do is that we will attach it. So this is the usual process. So
Hmm.
after this, so we will create this and we will go to manage data access for users. So this we know the usual one. We just give the username. We'll give the role and we will select the data access set and we will give the name that we created in the earlier set. Yeah, fine.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is simple. This is the usual one. We'll just attach it here so that
Hmm.
the user will have only this particular access.
Okay. So let's assume somebody is, let's say user is not able to do something on the in the application itself, right?
Okay.
There are so far I think there are three possibilities. One is either that person doesn't have the access, I mean the role assigned,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And the second one, it could be the data access itself has not been given to that user. And the third possibility is if, let's say, if there is some what do you call, the condition or something that's defined, as you said, in the security itself, that's another way to restrict,
Yes.
right? Three different things. Okay.
So basically, we can say two different types. So one is the security rule, and the other one is cross-validation rule. So cross-validation rule is very simple. It will apply on the chart of account structure instance.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, system will restrict for the entire chart of account instance. But whereas for the security role, we have two things. So one
Mm-hmm.
is at the data access set, so that we saw now,
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing is to restrict at the value set level, so that we saw before seeing this.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the options that we have to place a restriction for the user.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is about the chart of account restriction. So I'll just check once if this has placed the cross validation rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is enabled. So
Mm-hmm.
let me check with some transaction. So I'll just create a manual schedule.
Mm-hmm. You didn't do the category.
I think I selected the wrong ledger.
Oh, so how did you realize you selected the wrong one?
Here actually, it was actually PL2.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. But how did you realize that, that your journal may not be created?
No, journal will be created,
Uh-huh.
but we will not have restriction. I mean, when I'm entering this
Oh,
value,
okay, okay,
system is allowing, so I was just checking the data set.
okay. Can you close the door, Chacha? Chup, what that button? So the earlier one didn't work because it didn't have an effective date.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
I had an initial condition differently, and then I updated it. So I don't know
Oh,
whether
okay.
because of that it's not in sync or what is I'm thinking. So I'll just I'm trying to create a new one actually. I think there is some clash between the setups, I think.
Okay. So
Uh,
what are you expecting here? Now you've entered it three, four times, right? So what is that you are expecting and not seeing?
yeah. So if I enter this particular combination, so
Uh-huh.
that is I have given for this company called 1000.
Mm-hmm.
If I enter this and if the account code is 5450, the
It
system
should show
will,
you an error.
yeah, it will alert me saying that this is not allowed to use.
Okay. So that alert is not coming for you.
Yeah, I did the POC, so it was coming up. I
Okay.
don't know what
No,
it
I
is.
was wondering why you've been doing it multiple times. So
I mean, it should come actually. The moment we select the account code and we say OK, so it will
uh-huh.
say it will not move from this page. We
Okay.
will have an error displayed here.
Okay. And same thing also so you used for the second line also for credit you used the same account. Can you use it like that? Both are
I mean,
expense?
usually it will not be same. Usually it will be different actually.
Yeah, that's what I
Just
was
for
thinking.
testing, I was using.
Okay, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, let me check whether I need to run any concurrent program. I don't think we have a concurrent program. Maybe some setup clash. So I'll
Okay.
check this and maybe we'll see it tomorrow.
Okay, not a
Right.
problem.
Yeah, today we'll see the translation and the other things.
Uh-huh.
So the navigation would be from here, from general accounting dashboard.
Okay.
So we say translate balances.
Mm-hmm.
So before doing this, I'll just explain what is translate and what is revalue balances. So
Mm-hmm.
before this, we have few prerequisites as well to create the reporting currency and all those things. So
Okay.
before that, the translate balance is nothing but to translate our balances
Mm-hmm.
and just have this posted in the cumulative translation adjustment account. But whereas the revalue balance is something that it will revalue the balance
Mm-hmm.
and it will calculate the gain or loss for the particular period.
Okay.
So first we will try to see this translate balance. So before that we need to define the reporting currency.
Okay.
I'll just
So
navigate.
when you say translate balances, the translate balances is something that is like the difference in currencies between the functional and the foreign currency.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And when we say functional currency, is the currency that's specific to that country or that
Yeah,
company. Okay.
yeah. You can say ledger currency.
Ledger currency. Okay.
So we have here we manage reporting currencies.
Hmm.
So I just created one for INR.
Hmm.
So I'll just show the options here. So what we will have is that we will have one for the average rate and one for the period end rate. And
Hmm.
we will mention whether we wanted to calculate this on the PTD or YTD.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have given for both the revenue and expense and the ownership equity for PTD.
Okay.
And conversion level, we can have it at the balance, at the journals, or the subledger.
Okay.
So in this case, I have selected balance.
Mm-hmm.
And currency, I'm selecting INR.
Okay.
So I have defined the reporting currency.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I have defined it. Maybe at future period, I don't want it. So I can just disable the conversion.
For the future period, you mean?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll just close this and run the translation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So based on the configuration, system has automatically picked that this is an SWPL and ledger set and the target currency as well. Since we have only one target currency.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a quick question here?
Yeah, yeah,
So the one that said ledger or ledger set, right?
yeah.
What is a ledger set?
Yeah. So ledger set is something that I have, let's say, five different ledgers. So if I want to consolidate the report, I can use this ledger set option and I can say I can consolidate five ledgers and say as in one single ledger set so that I can use in the financial reports.
Okay. Is this something, is ledger set something like this request set?
No, request set is different from ledger set. So ledger
Okay.
set is something that I have, okay, I'll write it in Excel.
No, the only I understood what you said in the sense like I know you, when you consolidate multiple ledgers is when you're using the ledger set, right? Um, for reporting and all that. Um, so is that some kind of a setting that needs to be done?
No, this is not mandatory. It depends on client requirement
Yeah,
to
yeah,
pick.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying if let's say they want it consolidated, as you said. So is it some kind of a setup that needs to be done to consolidate it?
Yes, yes. We need to set up the ledger set.
Okay.
I'll just So if you see in this setup,
Mm-hmm.
so, so with the available setup, I cannot create the ledger set.
Okay.
So the reason for that is we have a condition to create a ledger set. To create a
Mm-hmm.
ledger set, see, so the basic thing that we will need is that basically it should have the same calendar and it should have the same chart of accounts. But here, if you see, our calendar is different from US to India.
Different.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
cannot use this. So if the
Ah,
condition matches, so then I can use the ledger set.
okay. Got it.
Yeah, so that is why I was saying this is customer specific
Mm-hmm.
and architecture specific as well. So let's say customer is operating only in India or
Mm-hmm.
US, but
Mm-hmm.
they have multiple operations in the different states. So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, we can use it because we will have chart of accounts and the currency calendar, everything will be same. So in this
Okay.
case, we can consolidate the financial statements using the ledger set. So let's say
Okay.
we have three different ledgers. So using the
Mm-hmm.
different state codes. So we
Mm-hmm.
can add each ledger and we can say that this is a ledger set. So which means
Okay.
US as a whole, we will have the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For those cases, we can use it. But if this is different for the calendar and this thing, so we cannot use the ledger set.
So basically, when you use a ledger set, the chart of accounts and the calendar should be same.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And the navigation for the setup would be where?
Yeah, yeah, I'll show.
Oh yeah, manage ledger sets. Okay.
Yeah. So here I can just give the name. That is,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I can say HW ledger set,
Mm-hmm.
and I would select the chart of accounts
Okay.
and the calendar.
Okay.
So here I can give the ledgers. So maybe I'll try to consolidate these two ledgers.
Okay.
Yeah. So this way we will have the ledger set different.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So we ran the translate balances. So maybe we will
Mm-hmm.
check the concurrent. So basically, this translate balances will not generate any accounting entries. So it will just
Okay.
do the adjustments and it will accordingly change the account balances.
Okay.
So when the balances will be, I mean, when we will have the journal entries when we are revaluing it.
Okay. Wait, what is this one? So you need to enter so many things.
No, actually, I'm just giving the ledger and I'll just give the period from which period to which period. Okay, so I have given the type of trial balance so that I have taken detail
Mm-hmm.
and I have given the period for which period I wanted to take this.
Okay.
So for our understanding, I have taken only 1 month and I have given this whether this is an total or this is an entered value. A statistical. Statistical is just for this thing that is non-monetary based journals. So I don't
Okay.
want to look into that. So I just said total
Mm-hmm.
and I have selected the currency this thing and ledger. Ledger I have selected.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say submit. Okay, I think the balances are already translated. I mean, I ran one,
Mm-hmm.
so the balances are translated.
No data found.
Let me check for different period maybe.
Mm-hmm. There's an error.
Okay, the first translation period that I gave is October.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it is coming in error that the translation period cannot be lesser than the earlier translation period. So which means before October, if I say,
Mm-hmm.
so we will not have any translation period for that. So I can give only on the November.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try to create a transaction in November. And we'll check.
Mm-hmm. Chacha, reduce the volume. It's 12:23. Chacha,
Okay, the rates are same actually. So system is saying the no transaction available for translation.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically translation will work this way that I have the rates of different rates in a given period.
Mm-hmm.
But in our case, we have given the same, we have uploaded with the same rate, that is
Same.
70 rupees.
Uh-huh.
So which means there is no change to validate or there is no difference.
Yeah.
So that is the reason we are having this. But
Okay.
maybe if we have the difference, we will have this.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is about the translation. I think even the revaluation, it will not generate the journals since
Mm-hmm.
the currency rates are same for all the days. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't generate any this thing. So I'll just show the template for this,
Okay.
and I'll show the process like how to generate the revaluation. So before generating the revaluation, so basically we need a template for this. So to
Mm-hmm.
add the template, I'll just click add,
Mm-hmm.
and here we will just give the name of the particular template for the revaluation,
Okay.
and we will select the chart of accounts and currency, and we will select the rate type. So our rate type is corporate,
Mm-hmm.
and we have days to roll forward. So days to roll forward means that is that let's say we have defined only for 10 days. So
Mm-hmm.
the rate is not available. So how do we want the system to pick the rate? So whether system want to take this from the latest date or how do we want to have? So if we say zero, which means this revaluation will fail. So we say maybe the days for it. So system will check the available date and it will pick the latest available rate type or the currency rate.
Mm-hmm.
And after giving this, we will basically give the unrealized gain account and the loss account.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for the income statement, this thing, whether we wanted to use the PTD or YTD, and whether we wanted to post it automatically. So that's all about this thing. And after completing this header information, so we will attach the accounts. So that needs to be considered for running the revaluation.
Okay, so this one is just the manual process, right? Or is this the does this create the template?
No, this is the actual template.
Oh, this is the template itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is the template.
Okay. So you're directly entering it here and then submitting it.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just show the template that I created. So I just created stable revaluation.
Okay.
So this is the template that I have taken. So I have given the name and the relevant fields for this one. So currency is not mandatory. So in our case, we have only one currency. So I have
Mm-hmm.
attached the INR. So maybe, I mean, in usual terms, we will have more than two or three currencies at least. So for those cases,
Mm-hmm.
we will not attach currency. So that system will pick all available currency related transactions.
Okay. So the days to roll forward is what you said. If you give zero, what happens?
So if I give zero, so system will not consider the latest dates. So let's say
Okay.
I have defined the currency rate till
Uh-huh.
28th of October. So
Okay.
now I'm in 30th of October. So if I give
Okay.
zero, which means system will not roll forward or system will not
Okay.
consider any rates. So if the date is available for 30, system will pick that and system will process it. If the date is not there, I mean the rate is not there, the system will just
Mm-hmm.
fail the revaluation.
Okay.
But when we say roll forward to one or two or three, so accordingly system will pick the latest rate type or the last available rate type, and system will process it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the template. So we have defined the template. So to generate
So
the
then why would you give a zero? I mean, you can change it to one, right? Is it by default you just give it a zero or, I mean, like, I know you created the template, so,
I mean, I
uh,
don't want system to pick from the different rates, so that is why I have given days roll forward to zero.
okay. So you just want to end it from where it, I mean, you basically want, let's say October 28th was your end day for the rate type. You want the system to pick 28th of
Yeah,
October, not
yeah,
beyond. Okay.
yes, yeah. So we have created the template. So we can just click the generate button to generate the revaluation entry. So
Hmm.
maybe this would be for the first time. So maybe I created this month and November I come here. So I
Hmm.
can just click this one and I can click generate. So this will generate the entries.
So every time you can just go here and change, run it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we are selecting the ledger and we are selecting the template and we will select the account as well. Account is
Okay.
zero. Yeah, so this is the log file of this revaluation balance. So if you
No
see
journal
here,
entries were created. Okay.
yeah, since I mean there is no transaction, so I thought maybe for 12th of October we might have it. I think it is
Mm-hmm.
also processed. But basically this is how a log will look like. So it will display the currencies, list of currencies that the
Mm-hmm.
system has considered. So since
Mm-hmm.
in our case it is only
You
one,
picked.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. You picked
it,
INR.
yeah, so that is here. And it will say the unrealized gain or loss account,
Mm-hmm.
and it will also say the accounts for which account we are basically running this revaluation process.
Okay.
And since no revaluation, I mean, there are two things that. So one is that we have already processed it, and the
Mm-hmm.
second thing is that the rate that we defined is same
The
for all
same
the.
for all days.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Okay.
Or else we will have the entry. So entry will come something like this. So
Mm-hmm.
if my expense account is more than this thing, there is a difference between the day I did the transaction and today. So
Mm-hmm.
the entry would be like the expense account to unrealized gain or loss account.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, system will show us the entries.
Okay. I think you're out of time.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. So that's it about the revaluation and translation. So
Mm-hmm.
still we have this thing. Uh, We have the cross validation rules. We will
Mm-hmm.
check that one tomorrow.
Okay.
And what else we have? So I'll just try to take this financial report. I will just try to get the this thing. I'll show this one.
Okay.
So how they will do, even if not in real time basis, at least I'll
Uh-huh.
try to show because we will have some idea, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Just give me like, in general what they do and how they do it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that period close or whatever is there,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah, right.
Uh, so that it will give me an idea.
Yeah, yeah. We will show. I mean, we will see that tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, whenever possible, you show me that you said some mesh-based three-dimensional or something.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, that we will see as part of this one.
okay,
Reports.
okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Arun, a quick
Yes.
question before we just log off.
Yes.
So, are there any workflows or approvals in this general ledger?
Yeah, we have. So this is like BPM configuration. So this is
Uh-huh.
similar to our this thing invoice approval and the other thing.
Okay. Is that something that you plan to show or?
Now approval, I mean, I thought of showing in the invoice part because anyway the process is same.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we think.
And
Yeah,
and does there and will there be I don't know if will there be any customizations or anything the people ask? I mean, the clients ask
in BPM.
in BPL, not in GL as such.
Customization in the sense.
I don't know. I'm just saying, do they specifically want anything for their company or um,
No,
I don't know, for
mostly.
GL?
Yeah, mostly the standard process will fit in.
Hmm.
Rarely customer might ask for the customization
So
because
is that
we are,
something that you guys do?
I mean the configuration of the workflows and these things will be done by the technical consultant. But anyway, I'll
Oh,
be showing you also. So because we need the basic understanding, right? So I'll show the
yes, yes.
options that we have and the other things.
Okay,
But in real time, basically this will be handled by the technical consultant, where they will do the configurations and the other things.
okay,
So
okay,
that's
cool.
what basically we have few parameters to select or initiate the workflow or the
Hmm.
approval. So based on this parameter, we can set in. So I'll just show. I mean, when we are seeing the AP module, so I'll show the
Okay,
workflow like how it is triggering and what are the options that we have. Those things.
okay,
So that
okay.
should fit in for the business. But apart from that, customization is possible. So that
Uh-huh.
will be entirely handled by the technical consultant. So
Okay, so
that's what.
nothing to do with the functional person.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So we should only assist them in order to get to a place where he can understand the business process.
okay,
After
okay.
giving this, basically we will give these are the parameters that system should pick. So this is the
Uh-huh.
business case that you wanted to build the workflow. So we will just give the inputs, but it will be built by the technical consultants.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks.